In today's video, we're going to be talking about why you guys are good and creative, but not good in-game and in tournaments. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and enjoy the video. So guys, the number one reason why you guys aren't good in-game is because, first of all, confidence. And this one's a pretty obvious one. I think a lot of people expect this to be on the list. You have to be confident when you're playing the video game. In creative, you might be a little bit more confident because, you know, you're more comfortable with it. You do it a lot more than playing in game. When you get in game, you don't know who you're fighting. Like in creative, you know who you're fighting, but in game, you don't. So you might get a little bit scared, or if they do something that you've never seen before, you might get scared, lose confidence. You also might just be unfamiliar with it. Obviously, becoming familiar with something is just practice, but there's definitely more techniques you guys can use to get good in that kind of thing. When I used to get nervous, I don't really get nervous in game anymore, pretty much ever, because I've been playing the game for so long. But one of the techniques you guys can use, this sounds pretty lame, but it does work, like actual breathing techniques for like just calming yourself down. It sounds dumb, right? But if you're really nervous, if someone pushes you and your like heart's beating and you're shaking, like I don't know if you guys shake a lot in game, but if you're shaking, this is what I did at like World Cup and like Season X trios, which I won. I don't have to do it anymore, but I did like breathing techniques. You just breathe in, breathe out. I mean, you guys can use Google and figure that out. But if you just breathe in like heavily and then breathe out, you'll probably relieve a lot of stress, or you'll probably calm yourself down. There's also YouTube tutorials you can definitely look at if you guys don't know about that kind of thing. You can learn a lot, but those definitely do help you calm down your anxiety and nerves. The number two thing is basically practicing. So you probably practice creative a lot more than you do like in game maybe, because creative is where you practice your mechanics, right? And applying those creative mechanics to in-game mechanics is a lot harder, because in creative you get less input delay, you get less ping. Yeah, it's harder to run on your computer, so it's pretty much worse to run, so you're not as comfortable with it. But the way that you prevent this is just honestly practicing a lot, and that, you know, that's an answer that a lot of people don't ever want to hear, but practice is key. And you know, if you watch any of my videos, you know that I preach that, you know, practicing is definitely key. If you're not practicing, you're not going to get good at something. So you have to practice a lot. You have to get good. You got to watch what the pros do. I've been saying that a lot. Watch what the pros do. Lots of new educational content coming out from pros, including myself. And you got to take it to heart. There's also another thing. People just play in-game like it's creative. You don't want to play like it's creative. That just is, it's awful. Just don't do that. Playing like in-game is creative will get you killed a lot. So you can't do that. You have to play like it's the actual game. It's two completely separate games. It really is. That's why creative warriors who you guys think are the best mechanical players aren't actually good in game. Like, let's say I fought FaZe Sway in game. I would kill him. He would get dominated, because it's two separate things. It's completely different. So you can't play like it's creative. You gotta play like it's in game. You gotta practice. Most of all, practice makes perfect. You gotta look what the pros are doing. Sorry for stuttering, but yeah, you gotta look at what the pros are doing. All that kind of stuff. Another reason, and this one is another reason that people really don't like to hear, and that I wouldn't really like to hear either. People really just, they don't understand. When you're playing against somebody in creative, they're just probably not going to be as good as the people you're playing in game. If you're playing against one of your friends and your friend is around the same skill level as you, you're going to be fighting somebody at the same skill level as you the entire time you're playing creative, or the entire time you're boxing, the entire time you're PGing. And the people you meet in game, they're probably going to be better than your friend if you're at a pretty high point range. Some people are going to be better than your friend. So you might think that you're like playing worse, but you're playing the same as you normally do, and they're just better. And that's something that people don't really want to hear, but it's just the truth. Sometimes people you're playing, your friends, they're not that good. Maybe you're not that good, and that's something you got to accept and you got to improve on if you really want to get good. But yeah, I mean, that's just how it goes. Another big reason why you guys are good in creative but not in other things is basically just, you know, familiarity with the, I guess, your own island and stuff like that. In game, you can get put in a lot of uncomfortable situations that not a lot of people are familiar with, and you have to put a lot of hours in to get comfortable with all situations. So you have to play a lot to get comfortable with that. Like I said, it's just stress. You know, you got to learn how to manage the stress of playing in game, playing in tournaments. If you're playing in a tournament and you think you're doing good and somebody pushes you, you're gonna be terrified if you're not experienced. So you have to just get experience with that. You have to learn how to manage your stress in game, stuff like that. And to be honest, you know, a lot of people aren't comfortable with making mistakes, but what people don't realize, and this is what people have a really hard time understanding, is if you're making a mistake, you're learning. I would rather make mistakes in scrims and in practice and in arena than in tournaments, because like if I play perfect in scrims and practice, but then I'm not perfect in like tournaments, I don't want to do that. I want to make all my mistakes in scrims and when it doesn't matter. So learning from your mistakes is really important, and don't be scared to make mistakes. This is what a lot of people have a problem with. You can't be scared to make mistakes. Being scared to make mistakes is actually one of the biggest problems in, I guess, life in general. Take risks, And when you make a mistake, you just gotta know that you learned. Don't be mad at yourself. You gotta have a positive mindset to know that making mistakes is okay. That's it for the video, guys. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. Sorry for the short video, but it's kind of last minute. If you guys enjoyed the recent content, make sure to share with your friends and stuff like that. If they also play Fortnite, you guys can probably improve them a lot. And peace out, guys.